There we go. There we go, people. We are here. Welcome to another episode of Conversations Unleashed. This is episode 50. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you, beautiful people. And I hope you're on your way to work. I hope that you even listen to this podcast, that you are awake, you are alive, you are well. You're going into this weekend, hopefully feeling good. I am super glad to be here with you today. I'm exhausted. It's been a long day of teaching. I've been working with my fourth graders with the Battle of Yorktown. And sixth grade, we're working with the different elements of plot. And y'all, teaching ain't no joke, but we are here. And I want to help you out because I'm helping myself out. You know what? Let me tell y'all something really quickly because I think this is real talk. Every year, we see the same trend and cycle. And for this 10-minute weekly power up to end out your week, I'm going to name this podcast December or January. And the subtitle is, Who Really Cares? Who really cares? All right. So if you can from me, make sure that you share this podcast, like this podcast. Make sure you send it to someone and be like, hey, Michael Bonner dropped a new podcast so this Friday or this week. And make sure you tune in on YouTube as well because we're available there. We're available on Spotify and podcasts, Apple Podcasts. And let's get into this. All right. Let's go. This podcast is going to be special to me because I have called out my hypocrisy as a man, as a businessman, as an educator. Every year I prep for the new year. And I have a little thing that I do. I pick out a scripture for the year. I pick out a word for the year. And I also make sure that I pick out a theme. A scripture, a word, a theme, and sometimes even a goal that I can write down. And y'all, honestly, next year, I don't really have goals. Unless it's a project, I'm done with goals. And I'm done with goals because there is this incredible individual by the name of James Clear. And he has this quote. Check this out. Listen to this quote, baby, because it is good. I'm going to build a whole speech out of this. So if you hear someone build a speech out of this, know they stole it from me. Okay. The quote says, if you only want to win. No, he says, goals are for people who only want to win once. Systems are for those who want to win repeatedly. Goals are for people who only want to win once. Systems are for those who want to win repeatedly. And y'all, I want to win repeatedly. But the thing that we are recognizing is everyone has these goals, these New Year resolutions that you're going to start coming out, seeing them come out on social media and all over the place. And I'm not even on social media right now, so I could care less about what I see. And I want to challenge you this year, y'all, don't go out there putting out all your goals. Why? Because it's a trend. Did you know that gyms make the most money at the beginning of the year? Why? Because everyone's signing up for a gym membership because it's the new year and I'm going to get in shape. Right? I want to get buff. This is my time to get it done. And man, let me tell you something. It's not as if something special is taking place in January versus now. You know, it's not that even now, my gym at the place I stay is empty for the most part right now. Y'all doing January, February, that bad boy is flooded. The title of today's episode, December or January, Who Really Cares? I want you to understand it's a mind thing. And this year in 2024, I've been doing something different. It has been my most successful year. It has been successful on so many fronts, but I'm doing something different. Normally, I project out my goals for next year and I break them up into business quarters. This year, I did something different. I have designed and looked at areas where systems are needed for me because I recognize it's a mind game. There is a system I need for me in my area of nutrition. There's a system I need for me in my area of being my physical movements. There's a system I need in regards to spirituality, how often I'm talking to God. There's a system I need in how I run my business to make sure it's efficient and lucrative. There's a system in how I need to ensure scholarships are going out. And I'm excited about it because I get to analyze which systems make sense and which don't make sense. And I want you to know, number one, what systems do you have in place for your life? Everybody can build a goal. I have a goal of $10,000 to save $10,000. Great, baby. Okay, but what you really need to pay attention to is what system did you put in place to get you to the 10,000? Because the system you put into place to get you to the 10,000 will get you to the 20,000. Or if you look at the system and tweak it, it may get you to 100,000. I want you to pay attention to your systems as you go into 2025. I promise you, that's where the magic takes place at. You're going to see a lot of people yapping in these next couple of months about their new goals and etc. But you will rarely see people talking about the systems they put into place, which is why most people fail. This is why most people fail. So my advice to you, and I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing right now, and I have accountability for it. I'm not waiting until January. December or January, who really cares? Right? I am going to start right now. I am intentionally going to start right now. This entire week, everyone, I have been going to the gym consistently. I've been waking up every morning and reading my word. I've been making sure that I even cooked dinner for myself last night. That's how dedicated I am to this process now, right? And I want you to know that you can start right now. And why am I excited about starting right now? Y'all, because I'm working out the kinks in my systems that were sort of unrealistic but felt good to write down. For example, I wrote down every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday I'm going to be in the gym. It sounded good. But when this week came, it was a struggle for some days because of being a teacher. And what do you think is going to happen when I have to go out and speak on the road and pack workout clothes and stuff then? So even now, I am using December as practice to make sure my systems are running and automatic by the time January comes. I want to challenge you to do the same thing. All right. So make sure you keep that in mind and remember that we're not aiming for perfection. We're aiming for progression. And if you can at least handle that, you'll be good to go. You will be good to go. So on today's podcast, this is the main thing I need you to focus on. December or January, who really cares? I want you to think about this year. And I want you to think about the ups and downs. And you know me, I like being transparent with you because you see my wins on social media. I don't even put all of my wins on social media, but this year has tried me. I've had to cut off some people. I've probably been cut off. I have to change some things, how I think, how I move. I had to challenge myself in different ways. And I want you to know that everything that you've been through this year is nothing but an indication for what's going to happen next year. So what I need you to do is to ensure and make sure that you're looking at what you have done, what you have changed, what needs to change, and be okay with that. If people are backing away from your life, be okay with that. If people are trying to work themselves into your life in a positive way, be okay with that. If you went out and tried to do something this year, whether a relationship, job idea, a new business idea, and it failed, be okay with that. At least you tried. If you did not try anything, though, this year, and you were stagnant, don't be okay with that. Why? Because we have the most precious thing in life right now, which is time. And one thing I cannot stand is someone who wastes time. But I also can't stand someone who allow their time to be wasted and then they're going to someone else and pressing them to be on their time when you were the one that wasted your time. No, that ends in 2024. 2025, we're going to be a little bit more intentional. We're going to be a little bit more intentional with the systems. We're going to be more intentional about how you're treating yourself. We're going to be intentional about how people are treating you. Come on, somebody. I could end this year out with some good episodes about that. And the reason why I'm laying this out for you, number one, because everyone, I'm not the type of educator who's going to put a lot of strategies and things online. My perspective in education as a businessman is I like dealing with the heart of the human being and the mind first, because I know that if your mind and your heart and your spirit is in the right place, you're going to find the strategy to be a great educator. You're going to find the strategies to increase your business. You're going to find a strategy to be a better leader because you're thinking right, you're feeling right, and your soul is in a good place. So as we close out this year, make sure those 3 areas are in a good place. And how do you do that? Go ahead now. And later today or this weekend or next week, I need you to look at the weakest areas of your life and sit down and determine which systems need to be implemented in my life so that I can be better in 2025. You do not, and I say this emphatically with power, I say this with everything within me, you do not want to be the same person you were this year next year. We can no longer afford for you or I to be the same individual we were this year. Why? Because when we evolve, the people around us evolve, the jobs we work at evolve, the companies become more efficient. And the reality of it is, if you don't start tapping into the gift and the things that you're meant to do, you're stopping someone else from getting their breakthrough. And we can't let that happen. That's why I talk to you with love. And that's why I make these episodes for you every week to the best of my ability to encourage you to be the best that you can be. so we can rise together. Thank you so much for those that have already sent me some emails about the podcast and what you want to change. That makes me real happy. I'm telling you right now, Bonnie Grayson, shout out to you for sending me an incredible email that lifted my heart on today about how this podcast has helped you, because y'all, sometimes it's exhausting, but I do this not for myself. I do this for you. I love you all deeply. Have a phenomenal rest of your weekend and the beginning in the second week of December. Take care. I'll talk to you soon. And never forget, my lovely family, it is always legacy over lights. Take care. I'm about to go get me a haircut. Peace.